Linus just dropped a new Starforge video. You're trolling me.
Makes it impossible for anyone to track your down and gives you free internet. And while these are normally impossible to get, a member of the underground, Sinet, he had one. At 3 a.m., Sinet downloads the game to a remote server using this hacked modem, but instead of just sending a download link, which again could be tracked, Sinet burns the game onto Blu-rays and he mails them out to the crew.
Oh.
So after all of the hard work and crimes that they had committed, David rips open that package and pops that sucker in, and oh my god, the game sucked. It wasn't even playable. But that's when the fear set in for David. Because if this ever got out that they had hacked into Epic Games, yeah, they were looking at some serious prison time. Yeah, the next day, Gears of War 3 was leaked online, and yeah, it made national news.
Gears of War 3 was leaked on the web. Epic Games warned people that downloading the title may actually melt your system.
Because Epic had spent over $60 million on its production, and Epic
they said melt your system.
Promised the public they would find the sick could ever do such a thing. But David just couldn't sleep. I mean, did Epic have any evidence? Were they just gonna pop in and arrest him? And this curiosity drove him into hacking into Epic Games again, where now we found out that the FBI was now involved. But that still doesn't deter David. They continue to stay in Epic's network, knowing that the FBI was in there for months, but just to monitor the investigation. And although David put up a strong front to the others, behind the scenes, the kid was freaking out.
Yeah, I would be too.
But David's problems only grew. His cheating mod business that he had with Anthony Clark, yeah, that was getting railed with the cease and desist letters from Game Studio. So the two shut that business down, but they remained pretty close friends.
They probably made a ton of money though.
While David continued on his war path of stealing unreleased games, well, Anthony Clark, he had found his next business opportunity. Now, in the FIFA video game,
I'm all for somebody destroying FIFA. You can go ahead and steal as much money as you want from these scumbags. Go all for it. I can give two fucks. I hate the FIFA franchise. Take all their money. I can give a shit.
Can earn FIFA coins to build out a better team playing against a computer or humans. But these coins cannot be bought.
I hope he doesn't get caught.
Games to get coins. But Anthony came across websites that sold FIFA coins for cash. Yeah, they were in China and they did look a little sketch, but you could buy the coins with cash. And it got Anthony thinking, what if he made a bot that could automatically play the FIFA game to earn FIFA coins, and then maybe sell them off to these Chinese websites? Genius idea. So as a proof of concept, he spends months developing a tool, and oh boy, it worked way better than he even thought. It could play one whole game against the computer within a second, earning him thousands of coins a minute. With just one Xbox development kit running this tool, it made about Anthony $30 an hour, automatically, 24/7 per machine. But then his first week of wholesaling coins out the game, Anthony had made a couple of grand. And of course, the business grew. He bought dozens of dev kits.
Oh, baby, here we go.
House. And while David wanted nothing to do
the
with
original
the
Bitcoin
business, he referred him out more programmers like Nathan LaRoe, Austin Akala to develop the tool even further. And this business grew. But was this even legal? Now, after a few months of watching every email come through Epic Games,
yeah, no. Prestige, you can link the Surfshark tweet, by the way. Chat, go like it if you can.
The FBI just stopped emailing their security team because even with the crew still inside of Epic's network, they had no idea who would leak Gears of War 3. Or in other words, they had gotten away with it. David grew intoxicated by the power he had, leveraging his skills not only for personal gain, but now financial gain. Instead of stealing games for free, he had found a bunch of rich-ass gamers who'd pay him the big bucks to steal games for a business. This whole hacking thing, yeah, it was a growing, expanding business. Now, if you ever played Fortnite, you've probably heard of Unreal Engine. Now, it's a tool for game developers to build out the worlds and, you know, some of the biggest video games out there. And wouldn't you know it, Unreal Engine is owned by Epic Games, meaning that master password list for every employee at Epic, yeah, that could be a springboard into hacking into every company in the goddamn world. So with months of meticulous planning, they slipped through the virtual defenses, mainly using reused passwords. They began to break in and steal from every major game developer in the world. Hundreds of companies, thousands of games having total control over their networks, or as David said himself,
are you have you been listening? I have to the Australian Department of Defense. I have every single big company. Intel, AMD, Nvidia, any game company you can name. Google, Microsoft, Disney, Warner Brothers.
Oh my god, Disney.
Everything.
Wow.
hide.
But after breaching
That's fucking sick.
Microsoft, that's when they stole the secret that had been hidden from the public eye. It was the files for the unreleased Xbox One prototype called the Durango, the source code, the tech specs, all of the assembly instructions for a group of Xbox hackers having the next-gen Xbox documents.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's like the craziest thing ever.
Holy
and they decided they
shit.
were going to build a counterfeit of it.
No
Now, it probably
way.
sounds insane, but a Durango or Xbox One is just off-the-shelf parts like a computer. So using those documents they stole as a build guide, they put together a counterfeit Durango, and they just stare at it. Because there was no games for it. So Austin Akala thinks, maybe we can sell this, to make some money off of that Microsoft hack. But not on eBay. That would bring way too much heat. So Austin builds out the Durango, and they find a dude in West Africa who pays him $5 grand for this counterfeit Durango. And then
That's
all
it?
of a sudden, after talking to no one for 2 years, Justin May shows up, and he's back in the crew. And he
Oh,
offers
shit!
to ship it out because, quote, I can get a good deal on shipping. And the crew lets him. But the Durango would never even arrive because the buyer in West Africa, that was the FBI.
The FBI.
One year Mizkif star.
Oh, for $5 grand too? You're gonna do all that? You're gonna do all that for 5 Gs?
Now, Dylan Wheeler was the kid who just always had to be
Smite.
right. And now with the secret knowledge of the Xbox One, he argued all day in the forums about what it would be and what it looked like, but no one believed him.
I wouldn't
This
either. Yeah, Ludwig, I agree.
Pissed off Dylan Wheeler so much.
Next year, you'll see I'm right, and I'll come back here to call you all an idiot for not believing me.
So he ends up leaking all of the stolen documents from Microsoft, and hell, even puts his Twitter handle in it.
Oh my god, no, he's a furry! Catch him!
I'll show him, he thinks. But then behind everyone's backs, that's still not enough. He puts the Durango on eBay. And of course, the news picks it up. They got a Durango on eBay. They got the documents all leaked. It's one of Microsoft's biggest leaks in years. And although the crew was freaking out over this attention, Dylan just loved it. He was doing interviews as the Xbox leak kid.
What was the whole purpose of you leaking out
Yo, what the hell? This is the craziest video I've ever seen.
information about Durango?
To Microsoft, it was a purpose of this is what can happen if you don't fix these problems. This wasn't malicious.
But it's still not enough. Dylan wants games for his Durango, so he starts hacking into more video game companies by himself to find more upcoming games. But he finds something even better. Zombie Studios has a direct VPN connection to the US military. Maybe they were making a game, he thought. So he gets in the network, and instead of some stupid Xbox game, we find something even crazier. The training simulator for the AH-64D Apache helicopter. And he thinks, maybe I could sell it to the Arabs. So he commits espionage and steals $500,000.
God damn it, my tweet's wrong. Hold on.
It's me.
Thank you, Prestige. I appreciate it. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot.
Yo,
I'm so stupid.
Lines of code, and he just could not wait to tell David. I mean, that's the ultimate unreleased game, right? Oh, but David was livid, stating, how the are we even supposed—
Wait, rewind? Okay. This video is insanely good. I love this style of editing. I really do. This is like my favorite style of editing.
These problems. This wasn't malicious.
But it's still not enough. Dylan wants games for his Durango, so he starts hacking into more video game companies by himself to find more upcoming games. But he finds something even better. Zombie Studios has a direct VPN connection to the US military. Maybe they were making a game, he thought. So he gets in the network, and instead of some stupid Xbox game, we find something even crazier. The training simulator for the AH-64D Apache helicopter. And he thinks, maybe I could sell it to the Arabs.
I did not see that! What the hell?
So he commits espionage and steals $500,000 lines of code, and he just could not wait to tell David. I mean, that's the ultimate unreleased game, right? Oh, but David was livid, stating, how the are we even supposed to play this? You're an idiot. The Arabs already have Apache helicopters, so why the would they need a simulator? Get the hell out of here, man. You're done.
Yeah, I'd be
But
so
Dylan's
done.
problems were just only beginning. At the age of 17, Dylan Wheeler had
17.
Microsoft investigator
We're
Miles
subbing to
Hawks
get away
in
of
his
3
living
Mintu's
room. Now, he had
worth
flown
of
all the
ads
way out
every
to
6
Australia
Mintu's.
just
Good
to
job,
ask
Missy.
Dylan how did he get all these Durango documents. And Dylan just tells him everything, that he hacked into Microsoft with a team of experts that he was the leader of, and it was all because he was a curious little boy. But that whole putting the Durango on eBay, that was just a big joke. Lighten up, buddy. So Miles lets him off with a little warning. Stop hacking Microsoft, stop posting Durango stuff on eBay, and we're all good.
Damn, Miles, that's fucking nice of you.
The next day, Dylan puts the Durango on eBay and Microsoft shuts down the listing, and Bill Gates calls in a little raid from the Australian Popo. They bust in through his house and oh boy, they find evidence of hacking into the US military, hundreds of game developers, and that he had hosted servers with child content on it. Which that
Get this man, please.
detail gets left out a lot. So now Dylan's facing 22 felony charges, awaiting trial, out on bail. But it even gets dumber. He does an interview with Kotaku magazine where he just tells the world that he had hacked into every game developer. But it wasn't just to make money. No. It was just because he was a curious little boy. The interview is linked down below, and it's pretty funny. Even the reporter doesn't believe him. Oh, and all of that child stuff, again, that wasn't him. That was just the other hackers in the Xbox Underground, who had also now been raided by the feds. Except for David. Now, while David's crew was just falling apart, Anthony Clark's business was growing like a startup. The production increased to 1 million FIFA coins a second. Anthony hired programmers, accountants, attorneys, hell, even formed an LLC. In just 8 months, Anthony made over $7 million.
Oh my God! David. 7. Fuck FIFA, I'm all for it.
Bought a Mercedes, his co-workers bought Lamborghinis, all from FIFA coins. But the money hadn't come that easy. Well, at first the FIFA game had no security. They'd now added in CAPTCHAs to prevent the bots that they were now using.
I hope he gets away.
No problem. They just developed bots to do the CAPTCHAs. But the real question was this even legal? Now, the coins weren't stolen or hacked from FIFA. It was just a bot that played hundreds of games a second, to get FIFA coins that, again, couldn't be bought. I mean, in their own terms of service, it says the coins have no value, mainly for tax reasons. So how could it be fraud? Now, months after the raid of others in the crew, David received a message from Armand the Cyber with an opportunity. Now, Armand had stolen a real Durango from Microsoft's headquarters. He had a family friend that worked there, and he cloned his employee badge and just dressed up like a dork and walked in their headquarters and just took it. And he told David it was so easy that he'd be willing to do it again to get David his own Durango.
No, David, you're so close to being free.
Now, to me, this guy seems like a total fed, but to David, it seemed like a great idea, so he went through with it. So wearing his Bill Gates deluxe uniform and his fake badge, Armand gets in. Now, he had heard the Durangos were on the 5th floor, but his badge didn't have that security clearance to get him there. So, at America's most technologically advanced company on Earth, he bypasses all of their security by taking the stairs. He shoves 2 Durangos in his backpack, walks out like nothing ever happened. Bam, mission accomplished. The next week, Armand gets a call from Microsoft headquarters. They wanted him to come down to their offices to have a little chat with them because, Armand had gotten hired there.
Yeah! All right! What? Nice, dude.
And that's when he remembered, oh my God, I put in my job application last month. So David's got a Durango, Armand's got a new job, and they lived happily ever. It was actually all a trap to bring Armand in Microsoft's interrogation room. They had it all on cameras, and Armand confesses to everything. Now, they tell Armand that Microsoft would not press any charges if he could just bring the Durangos back, or else.
Honestly, Microsoft has been very nice. Microsoft, then this whole thing is actually been very nice. They could go so much harder. They're not even trying to press charges. They're just letting these kids go. He's the nicest you could be. Like, I'm surprised. Nintendo would have murdered them, yes. Microsoft is being very, very nice.
Things would get nasty. Armand calls David, freaking out, saying how would it be if they didn't get these Durangos back. I'll give them all this money. Just send the Durango back, anything. But David just stops picking up his calls because this was Armand's problem, not his. Pulling up to the U.S. border, David and his father told Customs that they were just driving to the U.S. to run a real quick errand. But after just one glance of David's face, they asked him to get out of the car and they put him in handcuffs. And they tell his dad that David would not be coming home for a very long time.
Uh-oh.
For the last 8 months, the FBI had a secret indictment listing David Pecora as the first foreign hacker to be charged criminally in the United States. Why? Stealing over $100 million in American trade secrets. Now, along with David was Sinet, Austin Akala, and Nathan LaRoe were all arrested and charged as co-conspirators.
Oh, God.
Now, all four would plead guilty to stealing over $100 million in trade secrets, with Nathan, Sinet, and David all getting prison time, except for Austin Akala. The FBI had found something very interesting on his computer. Now, while Anthony Clark had been David's business partner in the past, he never got caught up into this case. He didn't steal games, he just mined FIFA coins. But when the FBI found evidence on Austin Akala's computer of this FIFA coin mining operation that made millions of dollars, yeah, that's who they went after next. On September 2015, Anthony Clark and his 3 employees, who were separate from the crew, were raided from the IRS, where they seized over $4 million in assets. Because Anthony's little business, yeah, that had made him over $18 million in a couple of years. But the problem started when he was withdrawing up to $30,000 a day from his 13 personal bank accounts. Because those glitched FIFA coins he made, while he did sell them to China and hell even paid his taxes on them, the government said it was all wire fraud. Now, Anthony's 3 partners, who also made millions from this, did a plea deal to give up all of the money they made in exchange for absolutely no jail time. Because, you know, if the FBI brings a case against you, there's a 99% chance that they're gonna win. But Anthony truly felt he was innocent. His attorneys thought they could win a case at trial because, again, these FIFA coins couldn't be bought from EA. He didn't hack in, he didn't steal the coins. So how could you commit wire fraud for something that's free? But when the prosecutor said, if this was not money nor property they were obtaining, then what were they getting paid $16 million for? That's when the jury found Anthony Clark guilty of conspiracy to commit wire fraud. So, pleading innocent to 22 charges, Dylan Wheeler had 48 hours to hand in his passport to the Australian police. But instead, his mom just drives him to the airport, and then he hops on a flight, and he leaves the country to the Czech Republic. All because Dylan had dual citizenship there, and he couldn't be extradited back. He was now a free man. Now, instead of just laying low as a fugitive on the run, Dylan does interviews with the news.
To be honest, it's quite scary that I was able to leave on my Australian passport, because they have a system that they use at border control, find out if you're a criminal, if you're trying to leave the country, and they'll flag you. Normally.
Australia would arrest his mom after he said that, and even sentence her to 2 years in prison, because technically, you know, she was harboring a fugitive when she drove to the airport. Now, Dylan Wheeler's alone in the Czech Republic, his mom's locked up, he's got no money. So he gets a job at a cybersecurity firm, you know, that specializes in banks. Dylan did interviews saying he's a reformed hacker, he's a good boy now. But a week later, customers at these banks began complaining that hundreds of thousands of dollars were getting transferred onto the debit card of an Australian citizen. Who could that be? Oh, Dylan Wheeler.
What a
So the Czech police raid his apartment. Oh, and they find he's counterfeiting money now. So he pleads guilty in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, throw him in
and
jail.
He only gets probation. And then he flees off to England. Now, while in England, he starts his own cybersecurity firm called The Day After Exploit. You know, he's giving interviews, he's doing security conference presentations, but then in October of 2020, his business dissolves, his Twitter shuts down, he deactivates his website. There is not a trace of him past October 2020. So I got a hold of one of Dylan's old coworkers, and they said he had left England and was actually living in Poland, but not for what you think. Because there, he had decided to rob a Polish bank with 2 random dudes he just met at a bar. But then the whole thing was caught on hidden camera. So the next day, Dylan Wheeler's arrested, and today, he sits in a Polish prison with a 10-year sentence for robbing a bank. Now, the week before his sentencing out on bail, Anthony was out for...
That's really not that bad. I thought it'd be way worse, and it's crazy it's only 10 years. That compared to what he deserves, I mean, for the child porn shit, that guy deserves life in prison. I mean, seriously, actually, he deserves life in prison. So he got fucking lucky.
For his birthday, and he partied so hard with his friends. And after that final round of shots, hugging all of his friends goodbye, Anthony went to bed knowing that his friends and family really did have his back.
Really?
But sadly, he wouldn't wake up the next day. His mom found him not breathing. The coroner would rule an accidental drug overdose from mixing the Vicodin in the alcohol. There was no note left behind. He never talked about doing this on purpose. It was all an accident. He had so much to offer to the world. From such a young age, he was such a talented programmer. And to just see it all be ended like this. It's really a tragic story. But for the others like David, Taned, and Austin Akala, today they have thriving careers as programmers, cryptographers, some even have families of their own. And while I did contact them for their side of this story, all of them refused to comment.
Yeah, they're not talking. Holy shit. That was probably one of the best videos I have seen in so long. That was so good. Like, his editing, his style, that was so... Dude, that could be a movie. This could be and should be a movie. Forget Oppenheimer. This should be a movie. This will... I guarantee this is going to be a Netflix series one day. This has to be. This is so good. That is insane. That was probably one of the best videos I've seen in like 6 months. Spam it? Sure. That was so good. This guy obviously is... he only has 384,000 subs.
No.
Dude, this guy deserves way more than 140K in 24 hours. That was actually just a godlike video.
Show me the Dave.
That was really good.